Bob Tiffin sells out. A couple gets busted for making videos in national parks, and other useless old news that you probably already know about. Hello everybody, and Happy New Year. Welcome to 54 Nights. I'm Chris, that's Terry.
Wait, I want to say I'm Terry. I'm Terry, that's Chris.
What?
So it was important. It was important to me.
And it is snowing outside.
No, it's not.
Well, okay, it did snow outside.
It's snowy outside.
It is snowy, snow-covered landscape, and we just couldn't resist. The conversation was actually, well, they're not telling us not to go out on the roads.
And usually they are in Oklahoma. We're not used to snow, so usually it's all over the place.
So we're going to go down Wichita Mountain Wildlife Refuge because it's something I've always wanted to do. Snow at the Wildlife Refuge, I think it would be neat to see, since, you know, typically the snow doesn't stretch that far south. So what the heck? We're heading down that way.
And by the way, we're on the turnpike, and the roads are fine.
Yeah. But so Bob Tiffin sells out. Thor didn't buy him. I mean, Thor didn't go pursuing to buy Tiffin RV.
You didn't tell me that.
Bob Tiffin actually went to Thor and said, "Buy me."
Really?
Which is a good deal for the Tiffin family. I mean, they made a lot of money. Not probably as much money as they could have, from what I'm understanding, but
it's not good for consumers, though, because
it may
the consumers,
or may not be.
Yeah. Well, and they're always talking about, you know, when you go to look at Tiffin, they're always talking about, you know, you pick up this phone and you're going to talk to one of the Tiffins themselves. Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure that's probably, maybe not, maybe it'll still happen, but
well, I mean, and you know, when it comes to acquisitions, there's always, I guess, certain catchphrases that you hear during every acquisition, and you know, one of those things is always, you know, well, the owner is still going to be here. We're gonna keep him on or her on, and you know, it's different with every adventure, I guess. We'll just have to see how long they keep the Tiffin family on board. And
you know, we're always scared. We were scared when Disney took over Marvel. Do you see? What did they take over? Yeah.
And, I mean, we were Star Wars.
Yeah, we were scared they were going to go downhill. They didn't. I mean, some things do go downhill. That's why we're scared of it, I guess. Anheuser.
You just made a bunch of people cringe because they're going to tell you it did go downhill when they bought Star Wars.
Well, I actually wasn't talking about Star Wars.
Yeah, Marvel.
Yeah, I was talking about Marvel. Marvel did, and I think most people would agree Marvel has done great. You said Star Wars. I was just like bobbleheading. No, I did not. Did I say Star Wars? You know I didn't say Star Wars. You can just rewind and see who said Star Wars. Actually, I think I did probably say it over you. Like, yeah, okay, that too. But, and then Anheuser-Busch, you know, when they got bought, I mean, some things went downhill, but look at how they treated you during the pandemic and stuff. So, I mean, they did good. They treated employees good. So not all acquisitions are bad. That's my long story to say that sometimes we expect bad things and we're wrong. And I'm really talkative because it's the new year and I'm happy that it's not 2020 anymore.
Wow.
So you can just edit all that out.
So, I mean, I guess one of the things that I'm hearing is Tiffin has, because it's a small, Tiffin RV was a small player, as well as they're known and as prominent as their customer service is. They're a small player, and when it comes to parts, components for their motorhomes, they're kind of at the bottom of the list of the supply chain. And I imagine they got hit hard in 2020 because COVID, you know, really put a crunch on the supply chain. And so if you're at the bottom of the list, you're behind Thor, you're behind, you know, Berkshire Hathaway, you're behind Winnebago, and then finally you get that furnace you need for that motorhome. You know, so they didn't have a whole lot of buying power, and that's been the case for quite a few years, and I really think it came to a head with them this year.
Especially when there's probably so many supplies being bought because the industry's booming.
Oh yeah. You can't make them fast enough right now. I'm kind of of two minds on this one. I'm going to go off the cynical deep end right now. If you want to skip my cynicism, go ahead.
Fast forward.
But, okay, I mean, we all know Thor Industries is a publicly owned company. So, with any publicly traded company, they, how do I put this? It's not that they don't care, but their responsibility is with the shareholders.
And the shareholders want money. They want it.
Their responsibility.
Turn it out. Yeah. Get more money.
And their responsibility does not lie with the employees. Their responsibility does not lie with the consumer. In as much as, you know, if it starts affecting the bottom line, then all of a sudden the consumer will become the priority. But right now, it's not affecting the bottom line. So the consumer and the employee are not, you know, the most important thing with Thor Industries is their shareholders. And you can see that in the statements that came out following when they bought Tiffin. It was all about shareholder return on all this. They were, you know, doing all the speak for the people that hold shares in the company.
So if you're a shareholder, congratulations.
You know, and whether you agree or not, Thor has a reputation. I'm not saying that this is fact. I'm saying this is their reputation.
Thor stereotype.
Thor has a reputation for destroying RV brands, destroying the quality image of RV brands. That is their reputation. Like I said, I'm not saying that's fact. I'm not saying that it's not. I'm just saying that is what their reputation is. I mean, you can tell me that you have a Thor motorhome that is the best motorhome you've ever owned in the world, and I'd be like, oh, that's cool, great.
It has nothing to do with what you're saying right now.
Yeah, that has really nothing to do with what I'm saying right now. Is that's their reputation, and you know,
and that's not the reputation of Tiffin.
No, the reputation for Tiffin is awesome customer service. I mean, awesome customer service, and this is where the shareholder thing comes involved, because with Tiffin RV, if you had an issue with your motorhome, there are a lot of cases out there, and a lot you can find it all over, where a motorhome was out of warranty and Tiffin still stood behind it, which is unheard of in the freaking world right now. Okay, there are a lot of cases where Tiffin would just send out a part to a customer on Tiffin's dime. They wouldn't charge the customer for it. It'd be like, here, fix your water heater. Here's the part you need, just fix it. Okay, this is where the shareholders come involved. At some point, Thor is going to tell Tiffin, knock it off. You can't keep giving away free stuff. That's hitting your bottom line, which is hitting our bottom line.
Once they get to the point where they're looking at the books and stuff, so that might be down the road a little bit.
And you know, that is going to impact Tiffin's reputation for customer service. But like I said earlier, Thor doesn't care about the consumer. They care about the shareholder. So, and there have already been comments by the CFO of Thor Industries that tell you that they're going to be looking at stuff like that and curtailing it a bit.
What's a CFO?
Chief Financial Officer.
Okay.
Sorry. Excuse me, COVID. But you know, that's the cynical part of me.
You have a cynical part to you?
I do. I know. I try not to show it a lot.
Wow, you've really kept that hidden. Do I have a sarcastic part to me?
I don't think so.
Okay, great.
But the other part, the other side of this argument is, first off, Thor bought Airstream like 1980, 1981, somewhere around there. And Airstream is still considered a high quality, high-end RV.
And you would be seeing it by now if it wasn't. Don't you think their reputation would be changing by now?
Yeah, and a lot of people like to point a finger and say, well, Airstream went downhill after Thor bought him, and they're pointing in the 2008. I've actually seen a YouTuber say you don't want to buy anything after 2008 because that's when Thor bought him. Well, actually, that's when Thor started putting their badges on them. You know, it was like almost 30 years prior to that Thor bought him. But I don't know if I want to, if that's something I can put any credence behind. You know, just some of that Thor hate, some of the social media hate.
There's no hate on social media. It's where the friendly people go to congregate.
It is.
Talk to their friends.
But, and you talk to people with Integra that own Integra motorhomes, and they have said that they feel like Integra coaches have gotten better since Thor bought them.
Really?
You know, they're using, you know, I guess, better products in them or something. I don't know, but I mean that is a common thread with Integra owners. So, you know, maybe Thor stepping in gets Tiffin a better parts supply, gets them where they can start creating more motorhomes, putting more out there. It may be a good thing.
I like the hopeful side. I like the positive side.
So do I. Anyway, that's my long drop. 15 minutes. Oh my gosh, we got to cut this
It's because of
down.
all my talk about.
Wow.
Yeah.
Enough with that. Stop it. Okay. I was going to show y'all more of that, but this thing is already stretched out too long because she won't stop talking. Second thing I was going to talk about, this couple that got fined for creating videos inside a national park. It's pretty interesting. I've never actually watched this couple's videos. I don't even remember what national park it was, but
somewhere up west, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it's a old rule that they have in the national parks where you have to get a permit to film in the national park, and this was created for large productions, you know, movies, commercials, TV shows, documentaries, what have you, that make an impact in the park with visitors and, you know, whatever else. I mean, that was the original intent for this law, and you have to get a permit, and in getting that permit you have to provide a storyline, locations, and, you know, great detail of what you're recording. Of course, this rule was created prior to social media, YouTube, etc. But somebody, and I'm sorry if I'm going to step on any toes here.
No, you're not.
But somebody took it upon themselves at the National Park Service because they thought, this is a great way for me to get ahead. Look what I found, boss. I mean, I have no doubt that's what happened. Unfortunately, this couple shares their income that they make through YouTube. So the government knew you make money off of these videos.
But now what's the law? I mean, are you allowed to do it if you're not making money?
Yes,
okay.
you are.
Okay.
If you make money off of it, that's where you have to get the permit. And the permit is expensive for a YouTuber, not expensive for a movie studio. But for somebody just creating YouTube videos, it is more than what they would likely make on the YouTube video itself. And that money is not refundable. So whether or not you get the permit, you have to pay for it. It's just not...
You mean if you're not approved for the permit?
Yeah, if you're not approved for it, you're out the money.
Wow.
I mean, you're out the money either way, whether you're approved for it or not. So it's unfortunate for this couple because, I mean, they're doing what Terry and I do, only they make money off of it. See, this is where, you know, you may be wondering, how does that impact us? Because we do a lot of videos in national parks. Rocky Mountain National Park just a couple of months ago. Well, here's the thing. We don't make money on YouTube. And I don't know that it's ever been a real goal of ours to make money on YouTube. It's been a fun hobby. It's been enjoyable interacting with people. In the comment section, leave a comment below. I interact. But it's never been to make money. So even if we were to meet that threshold where we would start making money on our videos, I would demonetize the videos we do in national parks. I just would. I wouldn't make any money off of videos recorded in national parks because, you know, a lot of people were like, well, this is like free advertisement for the national parks. Well, think about it a second. National parks are crowded. Do they really need the free advertisement? I mean, really, for me, you know, I've got a couple of reasons I record stuff in the national park. One, to document our adventures. You know, where we can look back a decade later and go, oh yeah, I remember that. The other thing is to take people places where they otherwise would not be able to go. You know, Terry and I, we love to hike, and there are a lot of people out there that just can't, for whatever reason they can't, or maybe they can't even afford to make the trip out to a national park. You know, this is our way of providing them a little something that...
To see what we see.
Yeah.
We're lucky enough to be able to see.
So I have no intention of ever stopping that. Even if we do start making money on YouTube, I'm not going to stop recording in national parks.
So I don't understand, how do you feel about what happened? Because you kind of...
It's wrong.
What's wrong?
Them getting fined is wrong.
Okay, because it's kind of sounded, what you said kind of sounded like you thought it was wrong.
No, yeah.
Okay.
It is totally wrong. I mean, there's no two ways about it. You know, as a YouTuber, you look at that rule and you look at all the requirements and you're going, oh, well, that's for the big budget stuff.
Right.
You know, this is for movie theater.
Right.
Because we don't do storyboards. We don't plan ahead. We don't pull up to the park entrance and go, okay, we're going here and we're going here and we're going to go here and we're going to hit the record button on mile 3 of this hike and then again on mile 4.5.
We're just tourists.
Exactly. There's no planning involved in it other than I'm taking the camera with me and I'm going to just, you know, do the pray and spray method with the video and then go back and edit stuff. You know, there's no rhyme or reason to it other than just to show folks where we're at. You know, look at how beautiful this place is. Look at how beautiful this place is. I mean, look at that. And we are in a national wildlife refuge, and if we were making money, we would be doing something illegal. That's wrong. No, that's not. No, that rule was intended for commercial, you know, real, you know, movie, documentary stuff like that, not for social media, YouTube stuff. I mean, there's not that much money in YouTube. And they got paid, they got fined like $1,000. No, there's people on YouTube that don't make $1,000 in a year.
Right.
There's people on YouTube like us that don't make a darn thing in a year. So, yeah, it's something wrong with that. Somebody.
It's just one of those laws that's been around a long time that needs to change to fit the ages.
Yeah.
Fit the times.
Yeah, and I mean, we all know that the government lags when it comes to technology. Yeah, we all know that the government lags when it comes to keeping up with technology, and
well, that's why every state has the ridiculous laws that we all know about.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
They were created in 1912.
Yeah. And this is just one of those ridiculous rules that the National Park System has. It's ridiculous. But anyway, we've cut this a long time here.
Look at the sun's come out hitting some of the golds out there.
Hold on a second.
It's very pretty.
It is beautiful out here, but we've held you too long already. Guess we'll catch you next time.
See you later.